Hello, this is Ann Fillmore, and this is a short video tour of my Reading 900 class. And like my other classes, this is my home page right here. Brief description, information, and the objectives. Okay, so let's go to modules. And again, this is designed in weekly modules, very organized. And the one I'm going to showcase is week 4, which is topics and main ideas. Okay, so the objectives are to differentiate between topics and main ideas and identify the main ideas in texts. Okay. I chose this to showcase for a couple of reasons. One of them being it just shows, I think, my progression in teaching. So let's go to this first assignment. We meet twice a week. So this is what the students would see. To prepare for class today, they're going to read pages 85 through 88 and then take the quiz by clicking next. But in addition to that, I kind of give some further information on the topic, the main idea, and then a short YouTube video that they can access as well. So they would click next and then take a short quiz, comprehension quiz on the reading. This is the same quiz that's in the book. I just put it on Canvas so they can take as much time as they need to. It's automatically graded and recorded, and they get 2 attempts. Okay, so there's that. If you wanted to preview that just to see. Okay. So what's the topic? What's the central idea? Purpose? And then just some kind of true and false. But that's kind of what the quiz is there. Let's go to the next. Actually, let's go to the teaching notes. So the students wouldn't see this, but this is for me. So again, I chose to showcase this because it shows how I can use my lesson plans in Canvas. So you'll see here it says share these surprising book facts with students in the future. Do this in week 1. So I made a note to myself so that next semester when I'm designing the course or for the summer, I can put this into week 1. But just if you are curious about that, we could open that up. And it shows here just some reading statistics that I came across online. So those are pretty interesting. Then we went over the homework. We summarized pages 57 through 79, just the main ideas. I also brought in a triangle diagram. It's a diagram that I use to illustrate the difference between the topic, main ideas, and details. Okay, so we went over all of that and then did a worksheet together in groups because it was difficult about main ideas and paragraphs. And actually we didn't do it on paper. I pulled that up online. Okay. Then from there we outlined the main idea of each paragraph. And at the last activity was this. We pulled up a separate article. Both had to do with binge drinking. But we compared the 2 articles. So that was that. This class is 2 hours and 20 minutes and meets twice a week. So it's quite a bit of material we cover each day. Okay, so this would be the second day, and this was a really interesting topic from the book. It's called the bystander effect. So the students would, of course, see this in order to prepare for class. And again, they would take the reading comprehension quiz. This one was 8 points. Okay, but I'm just going to go on. So this is my lesson plan, and again, you can see kind of just how many things we could possibly do in class. It just gives me some ideas. So we would have gone over the reading, talked about topic, central idea, main ideas. We could mind map, we could summarize, we could talk about the theme. There's also some questions we could discuss from the book. So we did a combination of some of those things. We didn't do all of these things. But what was fun is after talking about what the bystander effect was, students were divided into group and looked at some bystander scenarios, which I already have pulled up here. So this was pretty interesting. So each group, there were 4 groups, was given a scenario that differed in one variable at least. It could have been more, but at least one. So let's look at one. A bicyclist is riding along a country road several miles from the nearest house. It begins to rain heavily and then hail. The man, who is not dressed for these conditions, looks distressed. After a few minutes, a car approaches and slows down as the driver looks at the situation. Okay, and then the second scenario. A bicyclist is riding along a country road several miles from the nearest house. It begins to rain heavily and then hail. The woman, who is not dressed, and blah, blah, blah. So students would look at those 2 scenarios, identify the key differences between A and B, list all of the factors in the scenario that would influence a bystander to help, and list all the factors in the scenario that would influence a bystander not to help. And then they would predict what happened in each version. So that was cool. And so there were 4 scenarios in that. So let's go back here. We did one together, but we kind of had some notes here. But I am going to show you some of the notes from class. That was really interesting because we talked about a lot of factors and variables that would affect the ultimate outcome. Okay, so class notes, week 4. So let's just go down to the bystander effect one. Okay, so this is from February 4th. So this note taker, you can see, took great notes. So what factors determine action and lack of action? We talked about these in groups and things and as a class. Okay, look at these. So pretty good notes. That's actually pretty impressive. We also shared a video on how to start a movement that shows basically if one person's doing something, often a crowd won't participate or act until more and more people, sort of thing, but get involved. That was that. And then if we go back to the modules, I was going to show you this. You can see this isn't published, but I have do this assignment next semester. So I was making a note to myself. And it says, instead of the main ideas quiz, do this instead. And it looks like I found 2 other scenarios that were similar to the ones we did in class. And I would have the students actually at the end of the week complete that as an assignment. Choose one of the scenarios, list the factors that would influence someone helping or not helping, and then their prediction. So I thought that would be a good assignment for the next time. Rather, it would be more valuable than the quiz. So that is just an overview of just, one quick week of my Reading 900 class. Thank you.